Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games from today. LCS Week 3, Day 2 will be on tomorrow's video, as is the case with the LCS. Here is last night's games in the LCS, this morning's games in the LCK and LPL, and then we'll preview tomorrow's games in the LCK, LPL, and LEC. 98 and 46 right now. 7 and 2 on this board. The two I got wrong were Immortals Dignitas and HLE Bro. The predictions for LCS Week 3 Day 2 are out in a post if you remember. They are there. So, LCS. Deep breath. TSM and C9. C9 17th in the power rankings would win. Berserker 12-1-8, including a pentakill on Zeri, 48% of his team's damage. Blabber 1015 on a Nocturne, our first Nocturne of the split, I believe, in all 4 major regions. Maple 543, 39% of damage on Rise. TSM, it was close for a little while. C9 picked a terrible draft. Nocturne Galio just did not look very good. Despite Blabber not dying, I didn't think that it was very good in the laning phase. It allowed TSM to stay in it. And TSM actually got the first couple Drakes. But then they kind of threw, right? It was a hands gap pretty much as Berserker just kind of took over on the Zeri. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it was. Like Boogie was making mistakes. His itemization was very bad. But then again, the Diplex Galio looked pretty bad as well. It looked like a support Galio, to be quite honest. FlyQuest and EG both in the top 25. FlyQuest 8th, EG 21st. Fly would win. Prince 10-1-7, 41% of damage. Impact 2-0-10 in top lane on a Scion. Jojo Pune for EG went 6-5-3, 34% of damage on a Victor. In the early game, Spica was very, very aggressive. They went into mid in a 2v2. I think he played the Amumu again yesterday. And, I mean, it had its moments, but also it had some flubs. It had some issues as well. But he would gank mid in the early game and actually didn't succeed on it, really. I think maybe they blew flash, but that was it. And Jojo got over-aggressive in lane, and it resulted in his death to Vikla. But Vikla started throwing the game on the Aurelia at times as well, and teamfights getting over-aggressive, and as well as trying to dive Jojo underneath the bot side turret once. And a dive that would have worked actually got flipped and resulted in FlyQuest allowing EG back into the game. Jojo had a double at that time, allowed him to get some more gold and catch up. But otherwise, I mean, to be quite honest, I think EG had someday on Jace, and that didn't look very good. EG's draft was just not very good. I mean, this wasn't good. Honestly, I think Inspired needs a bigger role on this team. I know the meta doesn't really fit that, but at the same time, I think that they should be trying to get him in a better position. He is their best player. TL and 100 Thieves win. Doublelift 14-0-6, 39% of damage as he continues to really dominate the bot lane in the LCS. Like, he never even skipped a step. Honestly, he looks better than he did before he left. Bjergsen 2-0-13 in mid. Yeon 1-6-7, 28% of damage for TL, opposite Doublelift. Bjerg did work on the Taliyah. His walls were on point. His what is it? I don't know the ability. You know what I'm talking about, though, with the rocks that come out of the ground for Taliyah. Doesn't really matter. Shifting Sands, maybe. Regardless, those were on point. He did well. Tenacity solo killed Summit in top lane. Just 100 Thieves really just took it to them. TL, in the early game, I think they had an opportunity to get a kill onto the bot lane of 100 Thieves and weren't able to execute on it. And it didn't work for them. It didn't work. Plain and simple. As TL continued to struggle, I picked 100 Thieves to win that game as we saw TL not do that great despite going 2-0 last week. I know I moved them in the top 25, but I was kind of hoping the confidence would take them to where they needed to be. Technically, they were 24th. I don't know why I didn't write that down, 23rd. But regardless, 100 Thieves get past them. CLG and Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians come off the Schneid. They're now 1-4. CLG were 2-2. Gory went 9-1-7, 34% of damage on Taliyah. Stixay603 was MVP on an Ezreal. Palafox041, 30% of damage. Now, I did not want to go 5 for 5 with 80 carries as MVPs. Frankly, I thought Gory played a fantastic Talia game, better than Bjerg's game. But in lane, the Golden Guardians bot lane had a couple 2v2 kills in the very early stages. And that resulted in a hole in the bot lane that could not be filled by CLG. They were behind. And not only were they behind, but Ezreal Karma is a solid lane. Like, you don't want that lane to get ahead. And then, of course, Gory was impactful on the Talia. I mean, he got around the rift. He had some good catch-outs onto Kenvi that stick... I mean, not Kenvi, but contracts that stick out to me. And really, I mean, that's kind of the deal there. Dokla had a solo kill onto Licorice, but that's not going to be enough. And Golden Guardians take the win. That mid-jungle duo of Gory River is going to take CLG, Golden Guardians, as far as they're going to go. Immortals and Dignitas. Immortals 1 and 3, Dig 0 and 4. Immortals win. Tactical 805, 41% of damage on Azeri. Flashy 0014. Jensen 322, 32% of damage on Nazir. Early game was Dig favored. They actually took the first 2 Drakes, but at the 3rd Drake they threw the fight, which resulted in a slow bleed out, and they lost the game. Tactical got a couple kills here or there, and that allowed him to get the gold to take over on the Zeri, and that's kind of the deal with that. Honestly, I won't lie, I didn't watch the game as closely as I probably should have, because both teams I don't think are very good. But in the end, I mean, Dig just looks so bad when they shouldn't be. I don't think Tomo needs to come up next week, in my opinion. Do I think he's better than Spawn? I don't know. But that's the only player that really makes sense replacing. Maybe you replace him and Bio, because really, Dig did not want to go with Bio this year. They want to go with Ignar. Ignar is still not here. Maybe Ignar never shows up now that they're 0-4. He may say 0-5. Maybe 0-6 after the game tonight. He may say to himself, I'm going to stay here. Why would I leave? I might as well stay in Korea. So maybe it's worth it to bring up Tomo and Diamond, because I think that's their bot lane. So we'll see what Dig do with that. This morning, LCK, HLE, and Bro, 24th and 20th in the power rankings. HLE went 2-1. This was a classic Bro series. Viper, 10, 3, and 3 across 3 games, 38% of damage. Life, 1, 3, and 13, second best KDA on HLE. Henna, 1, 5, and 10, 32% of damage for Bro. You may say to yourself, why is this a Bro game? Well, Bro series. All 3 games were super long and super slow. Game 1, very slow until about 25 minutes, and Viper gets a triple kill in mid, and then it just kind of snowballs from there to like a 35-minute win. Where both teams didn't get 10 kills. Game 2, really, really slow early to mid game. Just super, super slow. Bro, Karis gets a quadra kill at one point on Akali, and that ends the game. Henna had a couple kills. Well, not a couple kills. He had 1 kill. So he did not. That was a lie. Trying to mix these games together. But Karis did have a quadra. That was the 5th kill was taken by Morgan. Just not great. Not great. Not a great series. Game 3, Viper ends up taking over once again. Getting some kills, making some things happen. And, I mean, honestly, HLE, I mean, they played Bro's game and beat them. Bro were definitely in a spot where they could have won. They could have won all 3 games. So, there's not a lot really to say. Not a lot happened. Sandbox and DRX. Sandbox 13th in the power rankings, 5 and 2. DRX 1 and 5. Liv win 2-1. Birdall 10-4-9, 31% of damage was the MVP. Cal 6-3 and 16 at support. Fate had a very good series in mid, 9-2 and 10, 39% of damage for DRX. Definitely outplayed closer in my opinion. Fate played fantastic. I honestly thought Duckdown played okay as well. However, Birdall had 4 solo kills on Rascal in Game 1, Jason Dinar. It's almost like secondhand embarrassment. Well, it's not secondhand, it's my own embarrassment. I have Rascal 4th top in the world going into this year. And this game, in and of itself, Game 1, pulls him out of the top 5. He was already out of it. but this drops him out of like the top 10. This DRX are such a disaster that even the best player, in my opinion, on the team, in Rascal, gets solo killed 4 times by Birdall. Like, that's not even to say Birdall's still a young player. There's a lot of potential with Birdall, but it's Birdall. Like, this is not, it's not like he was against Keen. It's not like he was against Zeus. He was against Birdall. So, that happens. Game 2. DRX looked solid. They looked solid. I thought Duck Dom, like I said, played very well. Fate, very impactful. But then Game 3, Sandbox just take over. They just take over. Like I said, I cite Cal here. Cal had a great series. Cal's playing extremely well. One of the better supports, maybe one of the most, if not the most underrated player in the LCK. Very, very young. One of the youngest. I think he's 19 years old. One of the youngest supports in the world in the major regions, nonetheless. And they are doing very well. 3rd place in the LCK. I didn't expect it. I really didn't. After last split, new coach. Birdall also was good in Game 3 as well. I think he was on a Yone in Game 2 and Game 3. So, doing work in that regard. Willer. Oh, it was a Willer. Willer was the one that really took over Game 3 for Sandbox on Wukong. Yeah, that actually really I overlooked that. He played great on the Wukong. Rare Atom and Anyone's Legend, RA 2-2, Anyone's Legend 05, RA win 2-1, Cube was MVP, Assume 7-6-11, 29% damage, Strive 10-4-9, Pin Z 9-6-17 for Anyone's Legend, 27% of damage. Cube was MVP because in Game 1 on the Renekton, he went like 6-0-7, right? So he had a very, very good first game. Game 2 was a struggle. And Game 3 also had some issues for Cube. But he opened up like a 40 to 50 CS lead on ZDZ Zorn. Solo killed him at one point. So that in and of itself is why Cube ends up getting MVP. Because I think Asum going 7-6-11 is not that good across 3 games against Anyone's Legend. Honestly, Betty might have played better, but the damage is what the damage is. Strive was very good in Game 1 as well. And honestly, I thought Game 3. He got around the rift in a good way on the RE in Game 1, going bot lane, I think bot lane he affected, and he affected top lane, so roaming, and I love that. If you have the ability to roam in your kit, you need to roam, otherwise why are you picking that champion? Pick something that gets gold, takes the mid lane turret, as far as I'm concerned. So he did his job, he met the objective. I thought Zhao Hao in Game 2 played a very, very solid Lee Sin game. It's reminiscent of last year where he played some Lee Sin. I think that's definitely his strongest champion. So that's kind of a thing, I guess, for Anyone's Legend going forward. Maybe they just give Zhao Hao Lee Sin every game, and maybe they coin flip a win against, I don't know. They've already played LGD. Maybe when they play Ultra Prime. So, segueing, top 3 and 1. I didn't write it down. I don't know why. They're 6th in the power rankings. 7th, I think, actually. Beat Ultra Prime 2-0. Tien was MVP. Rookie 6-2-15, 30% of damage. Mark 0-1-25 support. And Harry had a good series. 6-5-4, 30% of damage on Ultra Prime. Honestly, this was a very good group effort out of top. So that's why I gave it to the jungler. I could have given it to Mark as well. When it's a very even effort, I feel like the facilitators are the ones that should get the praise. King Tien in Game 1 had a super good K'Sante game again. His K'Sante is probably the best in the world. It's in that conversation. It is good every time he plays it. Where not everybody can say that first pick it. So that's a thing. I thought Tien in Game 2 on the Vi, he had a lot of kills. But the point is he was very active. And the jungler, not only are you active on the Vi and happen to get the kills, but you are succeeding with that pressure. You are getting something out of it. So often, people think pressure is a thing, and it's like, pressure only matters if you get something out of it. And statistically, we cannot, nobody has made something to try and define how much, not, I don't know, a formula, if you will, to determine how much gold a player misses from pressure alone, right? Which includes pressure without actually getting a gank. Maybe you just sit on vision. Maybe you don't even sit on vision and you're sitting in a place where that is like, because really it's hard to determine what is a player thinking, right? But we have to, a formula to figure out like, okay, this jungler is creating some proximity and some pressure in the top side of the rift. How do we determine that this other player is losing gold, right? CS, plates, things of that nature. And is it because of that or is it because of something else? So that's a thing. As far as Rookie's concerned, I thought Rookie setup was very good. His Rise game in game 2. Side lane pressure, very, very good game out of Rookie. Jackie Love had his moments in game 1. I thought game 2 he wasn't as big of a deal. But game 1 he was super good. And Mark was doing his job. So, I mean, it's a very well-rounded 2-0 out of top, as expected. Ultra Prime in all 5 roles are not nearly as good as top esports. So, that's the thing there. Now, on to the sneak peek. Okay, now to preview tomorrow's games. In the LPL, we have Thunder Talk and LGD. TT 2-2, LGD 1-3. TT beat Ultra Prime. LGD lost to IG. Week 9, Day 3 of Summer. TT would win 2-1. 4 of the 10 players overlap. 4 of the 10 players are still on those respective teams. The supports overlap. Yao Yao went 2-8-22. Jin Zhao 1-11-18. The bot lane is the matchup highlighted as Thunder Talk have a completely different look with Yao Yao in the lineup. I've been calling for it, and it's been happening, and he's playing very well. LGD, not a lot to really write home about. The bot lane, I think, LPC has had some moments, but Zhao Zhu, like a game here or there out of like 10 is not great, but he is a rookie, so you have to take that into consideration on an awful team. Hai Chao has been in and out of the lineup. I just don't. LGD, this is a mismatch. IG and FPX, IG 12th, 4-1, FPX 2-2. IG beat LGD, FPX lost to Weibo. Week 2, Day 1 of Summer, IG would win 2-0. 4 of the 10 players overlap. In that series, Wink, now the support on IG, was the AD carry. 3-2-23. LWX 187. The top lane matchups, one highlighted. YSKM versus Xiao Lahu. Everybody loves YSKM. Rightfully so. The kid's got a lot of charisma. Hopefully his health is in order for this one. Xiao Lahu on the opposite side is no one to scoff at, right? He's a solid player on Finesse Champions, if you will. Jax, Camille, Fiora, stuff like that. So I do expect a finesse matchup up there. If it is Ornn and Dinar or something, I'd be really, really shocked. Weibo and JDG, the match of the week. Weibo 6th in the power rankings, 2-1. JDG first at 4-0. Weibo beat FPX. JDG beat RNG. Week 9, Day 3 of Summer. JDG would win 2-0. 369 would go 9-4-19 in those 2 games. The Shy across from him went 3-8-9. Half of the players overlap. The Shy being the only one from Weibo, and obviously Ruler is in place of Hope for JDG. So, top lane is a matchup highlighted because it is 2 of the top 5 top laners in the world. And both of them can be inconsistent at times. So we'll see which one shows up. And the Shy needs to show up more than 369 because it's a possibility tomorrow 369 ends up on Gragas or Renekton or Gnar or something, and it kind of just takes a back seat to everybody else. We saw that, Kanavi played Sylas in the last series. Does Karsa have something for that? Karsa's not as out of the box anymore as Kanavi is right now. So that'll be interesting. The mid lane's very good. The bot lane's going to be a good matchup as well. So this one I expect to be close. LCK and Nongshim. LCK is LCK versus Nongshim doesn't make sense, but LCK is the region. Nongshim, Red Force, KDF both 1-6. Red Force lost to Gen G. KDF lost to Sandbox. Week 9, Day 5 of Summer. Nongshim won 2-0. This was the last series of Summer 2022. None of the 10 starters from that series are playing tomorrow for either team. So Fiesta and Bulldog is a matchup highlighted. 2 young 80 carries in their rookie splits. KT and Gen G. KT 11th, Gen G 3rd. KT Roaster 4-3. Gen G 6-1. KT beat D Plus and Gen beat Nongshim. Week 9, Day 4 of Summer, Genji would win 2-1. Half of the players overlap. Peanut went 7, 12, and 25 in the jungle. Cuz went 8, 8, and 30. The bot lane is a matchup highlighted. Obviously another test for Pays and Delight as they continue to knock down each elite bot lane they face, except the first one in Guma and Keria. But Aiming and Lahens is a very, very good bot lane. Definitely in the top 3 to 4, alongside Pays Delight, and then obviously Guma, Keria, Deft, Kellen, just off the rip there. So it'll be a good one. See if Lahens has anything for his former team. LEC playoffs. So this is the LEC groups, sorry, for winter. Heretics 4 and 5, Vitality 6 and 2, 11th in the power rankings. Vitality beat Excel. Heretics lost to BDS at the end of winter split. Week 1, Day 2, they played. Vitality won. Perks went 9, 2, and 9 on Nazir. And Ruby went 3, 5, and 7 across from him. Yankos and Bo is a matchup I voted for and ended up winning. These junglers obviously were highlighted last time. And once again, we'll see in a best of 5 if Bo can withstand a best of 5, right? Let's see if he can step up in this moment. We've seen him in best of 1s in the LPL and LEC, but now this is something else. Will Yankos learn some things in game 1 that he can take on to game 2 and so on and so forth about Bo that Bo is, not prepared for? I think that that's a possibility. Yankos has been in very, very big moments. We all know that, so that is a thing. Koi and SK. SK 6 and 3, 19th in the power rankings. Koi 4 and 5. Koi beat Astralis. SK beat Fnatic. Week 2, Day 3, SK won. Exakick, I know I wrote DOS, but it's supposed to be Exakick 604. Comp 020. The bot lane is matchup highlighted. Comp and Trimby need to show up. Come playoff time last split, they showed up in a big way, took the team to Worlds. They need to beat this young bot lane, and it's big for this young bot lane to show up. Similarly to how I referenced Bo. Heretics have issues too. Heretics bot lane, Jack Spectrum, Mursa. This is a big moment for them. But we're talking about this one. This is going to be something. Koi has been in moments like this. Sisgenda, maybe not. But the other 4 players have. They know what it takes to win a best of 5. So, that is a thing. This is a big moment for SK. Even in a losing effort, it is experience that they can take with them going forward. So, that's a thing there. And that's it for the roundup. So thank you for watching. I know this video is coming out when LCS is going on, but it is what it is. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. And thank you for watching.